Parents ignored me for years, forgetting my birthday. So I publicly gave myself a gorgeous gift, and right after that they remembered about me and invited me to dinner. I came and revealed the whole truth. I always knew I was the second best child in my family. It wasn't something my parents ever said directly. They didn't need to. Their actions spoke louder than any words could. My brother Mike was their golden child, their firstborn, their pride and joy. 2 years older than me, he could do no wrong in their eyes. I remember when we were kids and he broke Mom's favorite vase while playing baseball in the house. Instead of scolding him, Mom just smiled and said, "Boys will be boys. At least you're practicing your swing, honey." But when I accidentally spilled juice on the carpet a week later, it was a different story entirely. "Irene, how could you be so careless?" Mom's voice still rings in my ears. "Go get the cleaning supplies right now, and you're grounded for the weekend." These double standards were the backdrop of my childhood. Mike would get C's in school, and our parents would say, "Well, he's just more focused on sports right now." But if I got an A instead of an A+, they barely look up from their phones and mutter, "You could do better if you tried harder." The only person who really saw me, was my grandmother. She lived just a few blocks away, and her house became my sanctuary. Sure, she doted on Mike too, brought him cookies, went to all his games, the works. But unlike my parents, she noticed my achievements too. The pattern continued year after year. Mike's birthdays were grand affairs with bounce houses, dozens of friends, and elaborate cakes. My birthdays, well, half the time my parents forgot them entirely. I remember my 10th birthday. I sat at the breakfast table, waiting for someone to say something. Mom was busy helping Mike with his science project, and Dad was reading the newspaper. That evening, when I finally worked up the courage to remind them,
my mother gave my house keys to my estranged sister while I was away on business trip. So I decided to visit them with police and $10 million lawsuit. My mom said, "Are you insane? Olivia just wanted to look." But security cameras caught everything. I am a 24-year-old woman who recently inherited a house from my late aunt. My aunt was eccentric yet wealthy, never hesitating to acquire whatever she desired. This 2-story house was one of her luxuries. It featured a pool in the front yard, and despite being lifelong single, she purchased a large home. It seems it wasn't particularly a necessity for her. My aunt passed away a few months ago, at the age of 65. Much of the estate she left behind was divided among those she favored. Thankfully, I was included among them. I received this house valued at $750,000, and the rest of the estate was divided among several relatives. Since then, I have lived in this house for the past 2 weeks. Although I haven't finished unpacking yet, I've grown quite fond of this place. My parents, who learned I had moved here, expressed a desire to see my new home, and said they would visit the day after I moved. My mother came with her 16-year-old stepdaughter. I felt a bit uncomfortable. I had thought it would be just my mother coming. Still, I didn't dislike my stepsister, so I didn't mind it much. She was reserved towards me, so I couldn't particularly like her. However, I was kind to her, yet she seemed particularly close not to me, but to my parents. My parents have been divorced for the last 20 years. They separated when I was 4 years old. Even after the divorce, my parents cooperated.